The following program is rated TV-17, containing bad language.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
Sexual situations.
Would you like me to take your pants off instead?
Nudity.
Sure.
And graphic depictions of nut-crunching dick kicks.
Oh, I just had to kick you in the diddly again.
Parental discretion is advised.
What is going on, everybody? An impromptu Ronin Joe show. That's right. Sean couldn't make it tonight, and I figured why not do my own thing and chill with you guys for a little bit instead of the Spawn review, which hopefully will be back next Tuesday. But until then, we're going to talk about some Reaper Destroyer. The Marvel Zombies trailer just got released. That actually looks pretty decent. And maybe talk about my favorite metal band, Pantera. So stick around. All that and more on the Ronin Joe show. Let's go. That's right. I am Ronin Joe. Welcome to the Ronin Joe show. Having a good time, feeling good, looking good, sporting the only team that matters out there as the NFL season is just around the corner, everybody. I hope good luck and well wishes to all of your teams out there, because I know this is the optimistic part of the season where we all think that our team can make it or at least do something until about the first game when everything goes sideways. So we'll see what happens with that, you know. But I'm sporting my team, the Chicago Bears. Let's go. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time tonight, I think. I'm looking at the guys in the chat. I'm seeing some people in here. I'm seeing Mo Biggs coming in here trying to catch up on the winner board tonight. I feel it. Tonight is Mo Biggs' night. I don't know why. I think this is gonna happen. It's got to happen because Rick's was running away with 8 victories. 8 victories on the day. So somebody needs to challenge that and challenge that fast. Let me bring you guys up here in the comments. Wherever you guys are at, I appreciate you joining me tonight. I know a lot of people are streaming, and I always appreciate you guys jumping in here and hanging out with me. Where is Kayla? Working, I think. So here's the thing. Tuesdays is usually the Spawn review, but most of my co-hosts are doing stuff, and so I'm just like, might as well just stream. Talk about me, which is my favorite subject, so that's what I'm going to do. Let's say hi to the chat real quick while you guys are still rolling in. Wherever you are, though, let people know that we're live. Tell them to come on in here. Let's have a good time. Let's bust some balls. Let's do all that fun shit. Mark Penguin, member of the channel, is in the house. It's Ronin Joe on a Tuesday. Unthinkable, right? Unheard of, my friend. But that makes you number one.
You're number one.
And you are also the first member in the chat. So I have to give this one to you. And Mark, you have the trifecta because you got your own one as well.
Mr. Penguin. A penguin is the bird that cannot fly. I am a man. I have a name.
And his name is Mark Penguin. Welcome. Rick Saylor, member of the channel, is in the house. The winner and leader on the leaderboard itself with 8 victories himself, coming in here to boast, maybe trying to take a 9th victory. We're going to find out. Mo Biggs is here. He's going to be challenging. I can see it. Mo Biggs is currently number 1, so let's see how that goes. Welcome, Rick Saylor.
Common thread in all of my failed schemes is human stupidity. People are just too stupid to accept me as their leader.
This is true. This is always true. And I've said it before. Let's just make Rick our leader. Life in this world, let alone the country, might be better off if we do. We got Mo Biggs in the house, the man who's going to be challenging for that number 1 spot at the end of the day. I can feel it. It's going to be a tight race. Let's see what happens. Welcome, Mo.
Hey, Mo! Mo! What? I finished the drawer. What do you want me to do, kick you? Well, then go on, put it over there.
Yeah, it's going to be that kind of night. You know it. Hey, Ojo's in the house. Is greeting from Raleigh, North Carolina. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. We also have Scribe Comics in the house. Awesome to see you as well. The man himself, Mr. Sheldon Martin.
Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
Oh, you know it. You absolutely know it. Let's go. The dude is marrying... Wait, what did I miss here? So he's going to have a lot more energy this season from not getting laid anymore. You're talking about... let me go back up here. I have a feeling you guys are talking about Taylor Swift. Doesn't Taylor Swift decide who the Super Bowl winner is? She didn't last year. You know, she might have got them to the Super Bowl, but, you know, the Eagles came through and laid that smackdown, you know. So we'll see what happens, man. This is Travis Kelce's last year. He's going to go right off into the sunset, enjoy her millions and millions of dollars on top of his millions of dollars. They're going to be living fat. They'll be all right. Spawnco fans, where you guys at? Rest in peace. Where did you put that, Mo? I did see a rest in peace. No, Spawn Fans is still around, man. Here's the thing about a lot of the shows on here. I have co-hosts. I can only do those shows when I have the co-host. That's what they're designed for. Otherwise, you get this. There it is. Otherwise, you get me. That's why it's good with the Ronan Joe Show. I don't need anybody here. I can just hang out with you guys, shoot the shit. That's what it's about. But the Spawn Fans on the Spawn review, I need Sean. I need Zach. I need Paul when he's around. Jay, if I ever see him again on this channel. You know, so it's just one of those things, man. I can only do what I can do, you know, and I'm here to entertain and please you guys. Christopher Bouchard's in the house. Welcome, my friend. What is up with you? Good to see you. We also have YSA. By the way, has everybody been checking out YSA's art on X? He's working on his own, I think, 10-page preview book right now, pencils, dialogue. He's showing it off as he's working on it. If you guys aren't following him on X, please do. This book looks like it's going to be fun. I can't wait for this thing to come out, and I'm looking forward to the full book when he actually gets done with that and gets rocking and rolling on that. I think it's going to be awesome. Great artist. Check it out. Welcome to the show, YSA. Dennis Kelly's here. He says, "Sup all? Hail Joe, hail the chat. Hail you, my friend. Thank you for joining me." Speaking of Kayla, there she is. Yeah. Driving. Well, if you're driving, I say this all the time. You got to be careful. Can't be texting. Can't be texting and driving. Can't be watching the show and driving. I'm very fearful for your safety right now. Get home safe. Are you going to get the new Spawn Dark Ages series coming in October? Yes, I am. In fact, we're going to talk about it tonight. We are absolutely going to dive into that. I saw that announced. I got an article pulled up. I think that's going to be probably, besides Curse of Shirley Johnson, the best Spawn title besides Brett Booth's Spawn. So I'm absolutely looking forward to that. All right, let me bring the music down here. Let's get into the mood. What do we got? Let's do this. All right, bring it down a little bit. Bring it down a little bit. How's that? Is the music too overpowering? It's weird because StreamYard kind of changed up some of their stuff, so it sounds different to me on this end. I don't know if it's too low, if it's too high. You guys got to let me know about the music on that. Oh, yeah. You do your thing. You be safe out there. All right, leaderboard. Mo Biggs, he's coming back. Oh, Mo, you already fell to number 2? How did that happen? I was about to shout you out and say Mo Biggs is currently in number 1 spot. Let me see up here. I didn't know, but you can actually see the top leaderboard by just clicking this button up here that says top fans. It took me, what, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, a month? How long have I been doing this to figure that out? Dennis Kelly is currently number 1, Mo Biggs number 2, and K Ojo number 3 on the leaderboard running. So what does that mean? It means if you end the show at number 1, you got that fancy number 1 with the crown. Purple, I guess, is the color now. At the end of the show, you get added to the leaderboard. What do? At the end of the year, we add up everybody's victories, and whoever has the most victories, we're going to do something very, very special. I've been thinking about it today, actually. I was like, how can we make this really badass? I'm talking about something really, really good. And I've got something in mind, at least from my end. I'm going to try to see if I can get everybody else on the channel, too, to throw in as well for you guys. But so far, Rick Saylor with a healthy 8 victories on the year, followed by Mo Biggs at 4. So, I mean, there's a gap there. I think Mo can do it. I think he can. There's a gap. How does this work? I have no idea. Contribute, talk, super chats, whatever it is. I have no idea how YouTube tracks this stuff, but just interact as much as you can. Be that number 1 spot at the end of the show, and you get added to the leaderboard. And trust me, you guys are going to want to be that winner. You're going to want to be that winner because I got something pretty cool planned. Hojo's in the house. Member of the channel. Good to see you. He says, you've all bowed down to the social credit score already. Yes. You got to do it. Got to do it, man. You know, YouTube adds these fun things in here. I think it's cool because it's good interaction between you and me. And then you and you guys. You know, I think it's good. Also, there was something I was looking at on the YouTube channel. So I'm looking at my stream right now. There is something. Oh, fuck. Where'd it go? Just as I was going to promote it. I don't see it. There's this thing called hype where you can hype channels. You can hype shows and all that stuff. If you get a second and you see that hype button, wherever it might be, hype the shows out. That definitely helps out the channel. It helps out the reach. If you guys can figure that out, please do that. I would appreciate that very, very much. Before we get going too far into the show, guys, while people are still filing in here, I want to let you know that we have a post-Labor Day sale. Oh, I should bring that up. Here I am just going to talk about it. I don't even have it showing. There we go. Post-Labor Day sale on the Superior Press website today, where you can follow this discount, Ronin Joe, get $10 off of anything in the store. This is my website. Go sign up for Reaper Destroyer issue 2 through this link right here. It'll take you right to the Indiegogo page. If you sign up for that, that also gets you signed up for the Second Chance launch campaign launch on September 19th. So definitely do that. But go get some back order limited print runs of the comics, Ashcan, original art. We have gear in here that you can check out. If you want commissions, grab a commissions, do what you can. If you know how to, leave a review. I love that on this channel or on this stream. On the website, can't fucking talk. Let's go. But $10 off anything in the store if you follow that link. That's just for today. It's just for this show. I think it's going to end at 10 o'clock. That's the last time you're going to be able to actually use this code Ronin Joe at the checkout. But that'll get you $10 off on anything on the show. Jeez, I'm not used to saying website. On the website. Let's go. All right. What do you guys want to talk about first? That's my question. I want to talk about the Marvel Zombies. I want to talk about Liam Sharp's Spawn Dark Ages. And I got if there are any metal fans, and I keep talking, we had Dale Keown on the show on Sunday. And was it Sunday or last Sunday? I'm losing track of the days. We got to talk a little bit about music, which is another love of mine. I don't get to do that very often. It was cool to have a guy like Dale on where we could have that conversation back and forth. I know I got some music fans in the chat as well. I was like, maybe I'll incorporate that into the show a little bit. So I've got a breakdown on my favorite band and my favorite band's album, which is Pantera, The Great Southern Trendkill. Came out in 1996. Kicked major ass. I got a little featurette we might look at with that to kind of close the show down and just kind of chill. It's something new I'm going to try. Last Sunday. Okay. Thank you, Kayla. At least somebody's keeping track. The days all blend together, especially with the holiday. Oh, that's right. It was a holiday. Okay. Yeah. Last Sunday. I type with all my fingers unless Zach is on the screen. Then I use the Kayla method. What's the Kayla method? That's what I want to know. Oh, shit. Okay. With the middle finger. Oh, damn. All right. With one finger, as I was typing, I was thinking you probably type with a finger knuckle. Only so many people can type out there. It's a learned art, you know. I say that as I had already started my own YouTube channel. See, Matt? Yes. You know what? Contradictions are fine. You know, you stand for what you stand for, but in the background, you know, you do what's good for you. You know, like that. I fully. I support that. Wiley J Draws is now says howdy chat. Howdy to you. Good to see you. Tonight we're gonna chill. We're gonna talk about some fun things. We didn't have the Spawn review because most of my co-hosts couldn't make it. So I was like, you know, I could either not stream or I could jump in here and actually stream and just see what's going on in the world and talk to you guys. And I figured, let's get rid of this. Can we get all this? What is this? AIPT website with all these pop-up blockers. All right, guys. The Spawn. Liam Sharp. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to this. I know we have on this channel. Been really looking forward to this. In fact, when Medieval Spawn came out earlier in the year, I got really hyped for it because I thought it was this book. And I was a little disappointed when it first came out. And I was like, this is not what I was thinking that it was going to be. But this is the book that we are anticipating right here. Liam Sharp brings back Spawn the Dark Ages with a gritty new miniseries. A 6-issue miniseries, I believe. I saw Todd drop this article. I jumped right in there. I was like, man, this is it. You know, we're going to cover this on the Spawn review. Absolutely. I know Kayla's very excited about this. Every time someone sees me text on my phone, they tell me I'm so fast and freak out that I only use my middle. Really? Now that's just messed up. That's kind of freaky. I don't. That's weird. Shadowpunk is in the house. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. He says that Liam Sharp is insane in the membrane. He is a fantastic artist. I'm really excited about this series. So Spawn the Dark Ages is making a long-awaited comeback this October in the form of a brand new 6-issue miniseries from Liam Sharp. Wonder Woman, Starhedge. Henge? I don't know if I've ever heard of that one. Courtesy of Image Comics and Todd McFarlane Productions. To celebrate its launch, the first issue will ship with 4 covers by Sharp, a blank sketch. Oh, yeah, you gotta grab the sketch variants. Those are so good. I'm glad that Todd is always doing that. And a striking 1.5 incentive by Ryan Brown. Must be this right here, which is all right. You know, I'd rather just grab Sharp stuff and the sketch cover. Like, that's all I really need. That's all I really need. Sharp isn't just writing the series, he's also handling inks and colors, bringing readers a sweeping saga of kings, gods, and the devils spawn set against the turbulent era of post-Roman Britain. I don't know, man. I think this looks great. It's got that fantasy feel. I know that's probably why Kayla likes it. You know, like probably a little Conan vibes to it, but then set in the Spawn universe. The art is going to be amazing. So, I mean, come on. I mean, how can you not love this book? And everything I've seen has been pretty badass. Pretty badass. I've been waiting for fucking years, says Kayla. Yeah. Yeah, I've been waiting that long, but I've been waiting for a little while since I heard about it. The very talented that Kayla. Well, yeah, you know. Oh, okay, you're subscribed to Liam's Substack. I've been all over this good stuff. Nice, man. That's one thing I've never really messed around with. I've heard of that. What is that? Is that like a Patreon? Hojo? Substack? I don't think I've ever dealt with that, to be honest with you. Starhenge? Hedge? Stone? I don't know, man. I can't read. I'm just reading what the article says. I can read good when I want to. You missed a lot of the early Ronan Joe shows. Like, I could actually read, you know, like I proofread the articles first, but I can read, you know. It's like, how slow do I want to read or how fast do I want to read? When I read too fast, my mind starts making up words. I'm dyslexic, that doesn't, so I got to read them slow, you know. But the story was terrible. Oh, okay. Oh, for writers, I don't want to be on there then. I'm just kidding. Don't at me, writers. You know I love you guys. All right, where am I? Come back to Spawn the Dark Ages has been a joy, Sharp said. My goal was to create something fresh and approachable without requiring readers to have prior knowledge of Spawn or the historical period. See, now that's great. Just make it your own thing. Make it fun. I like that. I want to take it back to the roots in the 5th century where folklore and pagan traditions were fading and Christianity was just starting to dominate. Oh, okay. All right. We'll see where you're going with that. At the same time, I wanted to weave a sweeping melodrama full of love, betrayal, and court intriguing, echoing the Arthurian. Why can't I pronounce that? I know what it means. Arthurian legends, which our kings, I'm not even going to try that, was kind of a prototype for, and I tried to give the series its own liberty. Yeah, spell it out for me. I'll figure that out. To firmly place in that world and time. At the center of the story is Eric. See, now this is the only thing. Going back into this time, you got to give me, can't we just name him Bob? Let's just name him Bob. Why not? You know, you tell me there was never a Bob back in the 5th century. Come on. The Devil's Spawn and master of the Wild Hunt, with Saxons pressing in from the east, Picts threatening in the north, and Hibernians striking from the west. The newly crowned king, Bob, I will just say, must seek out this dark figure and strike a dangerous bargain to save his realm. But can a Christian king truly trust the or is he risking damnation itself? This is interesting. I'm kind of interested to see how they're going to spin the Christian angle into this story as well. Like, how do they treat it? Because Spawn is a world created by an atheist. It's got its own kind of, but again, this is Sharp. He's doing his own writing. So I don't know. This is going to be interesting. It's sometimes. Substack is the future. Okay. But it's only for writers. That's like, so artists aren't allowed. Beljo, cause you're a writer. Newsflash. Only on the outside. I was hoping Medieval Spawn was more gritty. Yeah, me too. That was a big thing with Medieval Spawn I was disappointed in. We did one review of issue 1 and the story was fine. but the art was just not what I was looking for a medieval. And I think I remember giving the grades for that book. Maybe I gave it a 6 or a 7. I can't remember, but I remember saying that the art had to be a lot better if it was going to be like something that I really enjoyed. It wasn't gritty enough. It wasn't just detailed and dark enough. It was too bright, too less line, like kind of cartoony. I don't know. I don't know why they choose the artists they do for some of these books. It's just, if I was in charge, I'd do something different. Not Bob, it'd be Robert. Okay, I could deal with Robert. Bob's last name would be Up and Down in the Water. Oh! I like that. I stole that joke. Let's just give you credit for it. King Aurelianeos. That's how you would pronounce that name. I still don't know how to pronounce it. You got to break it down more than that, Kayla. Help me out. Yeah, no, I thought it was this book as well. That's why I was really disappointed. But the art, if the art was better, I would have liked it. It's just, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you read Medieval Spawn, you know the art I'm talking about. It's just not the kind of style that I would choose for that kind of story. I would choose this kind of style that we're about to see here right now with Liam Sharp's. Look at this shit. Look at this. I mean, for a simple cover, I love everything about this. It's the back shot. Look at that arm. Look at the muscles on that. The definition, the grit. The inking on this is fantastic. I like the fact that he's coloring it too. You know what I like about this too? I like the white. The white with just a blood splatter. That looks really good. Simple logo, black and white. I love that you have a transparent image logo here. Yeah, this cover is. I'm looking forward to this one. This looks badass. What do we got here? This is that Ryan Brown. I don't think I'm gonna grab this one. Nothing bad about it. It's just not my. I don't know. It's just not my flavor, I guess. I do like the design of the character though. You got the Spawn symbol just like carved into his body. The mask is kind of cool. I like this. He's gonna give you're gonna have a Spawn feel, but in its own separate. Oh, that's all we get. We don't get any more of the covers. Yeah, so the blank sketch. Oh, so it's a blank sketch cover. Okay, I mean, that's still cool. I might get that to. Hey, maybe I'll get that and do something for the chat with that. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get this cover. This cover is sick. In fact, I've always wanted to do a cover like this, and now I'm kind of pissed off that this actually was done. Because sometimes I'm like, man, if I do a cover like, it's just, is it too simple? Are people not going to be attracted to a cover like this when you're talking about like crowdfunding books like Reaper Destroyer? If I did something like similar to this, that's why I've always kind of strayed away from this. But I love just the simplicity of a cover like this, especially if it's drawn like that. Let's go. Pizza, where's Pizza at? There he is. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Sounds cool, but Christians will probably be presented as the bad guys. See, that's what I'm saying, Wiley Jane. You know me, I'm a Christian. And I feel like that's usually the trope in a lot of these movies, especially if it's something that's told by an atheist or, someone of that nature, that they paint that in that form. It is what it is. Like I've learned years now watching entertainment to not really let it bother me. It's just a story, move on. But I hope it's just not that trope. I hope it's something a little bit different from that. That was awesome Dark Ages cover, and can't wait for 6 issues. Yeah, this is a must-have, guys. When is this coming out? Where's the date? I missed that. Did they say here? September 15th. Oh man, hell yeah. Or October 8th. Sorry, final cut-offs September 15th. October 8th. So another month we gotta wait for that. It's kind of a bummer, but damn, that's gonna be fun. You know what they need to do with this? I know Kayla's going to be right there with me on this. They need to put out a black and white version of this book. Like, I'm not even talking about a collected trade at the end of the 6 issues. I'm talking about every book. They need to put out a black and white version of this before Liam colored his work. Because I would love to see this in just the black and white grit with the script. Something like this, I have to say, some of the stuff I've seen from him, it would almost do better, in my opinion. Like, the colors look fine. They look great, don't get me wrong. But it would almost look better if it was just a black and white presented book itself. I think it would do just as good. To be honest with you, I'm just looking at this. I'm like, yeah, let's go all in. Oh, nice. Yeah, see, Unagi. You're right there. Mike Mann's in the house, has just started the course Liam Sharp teaches. Oh, nice. Actually, I didn't know he did that. Yeah, we need line art editions all the way around. All the way around with this stuff. When you have beautiful art like this, you have to. You just have to. I know it might not be the normal or the traditional or the normie reader wants that kind of stuff, but art fans, we got to have it. Checking out the leaderboard real quick. Dennis Kelly took the number 1 spot. Mo Biggs is still number 2. Come on, Mo. I'm rooting for you. Although I'd like to add new people to the leaderboard. So anytime a new person wins, I'm all about it. That's great. But if there's going to be anybody that challenges Rick Saylor, who's leading right now with 8 victories, it's got to be Mo Biggs right now. He's got the most after that at 4. So, I mean, that's doable. That's absolutely doable. So, let's see what you got, Mo. Let's see what you got. By the way, guys, don't forget the post-Labor Day sale. $10 off the discount. If you follow the link up above in the chat, you go right to the Superior Press store. Buy anything off that store, $10 off. It's only while I'm streaming. I think it actually ends in about an hour. I set it up to start at 8:30 and end at 10. So grab back issues of Reaper Destroyer, the limited print run we have there, the ash cans, original art. Grab t-shirts, mugs, hoodies, whatever you want. We got it. If there's something on there you don't see that you'd like me to put on there, let me know, and I'll do it up. Because I love you guys. That's what I do. Yeah, wait, yeah, okay. You know what? Yeah, I'm rooting for Mo, but I should say shout out to Dennis, right? Shout out to anybody that takes the number 1 spot. Ultimately, I'm happy with whoever wins, right? I'm just trying to see. I love Rick too, but I see he's running away with it. I was like, somebody needs to challenge Rick. And right now, the closest person is Mo Big. So I'm like, Mo needs a 5th victory to crawl back into that leaderboard. But if Dennis Kelly wins, I'm down for it too, man. Yeah, congratulations getting that number 1 spot. Let's go. Get your books now. Yes, please do. Yeah, the what was that? The Skin Eaters? We talked about that in Aunt Stuff the other day. That book looks really, really awesome. Looks really awesome as well. Image is killing it, man. I know Sean and I, if we were gonna do Aunt Stuff last week, I think we skipped it. Or did we? Man, all these days are coming together. We were gonna talk about how Image is really kicking ass right now. Like kicking DC's ass, and I think DC's doing really good. Marvel, I don't know what the fuck Marvel is doing. Marvel's just falling off. There's nothing Marvel's putting out there is exciting me at all. The most I was excited about was probably Greg Capullo, and then that was just kind of messed up. No real fault to Greg. I thought the script was bad for Wolverine Revenge. I wasn't really excited with Townsend doing the inks, although Townsend is a good inker, so no shade at him at all. I just didn't think that he meshed with Greg Capullo's style. I need somebody that could add a little bit more texture and grit to Greg's work and really bring out that feel that you can have. But then it's just the story was bad. Like I collected all the issues that they put out so far. I think I do need to pick up that pencil only version that I keep hearing about. I don't have that. But yeah, that was kind of disappointing. And then they do this crossover, the Deadpool Batman crossover they're doing, which, whatever, that's fine. And then I see Greg announces that he's done. His freelancing is like, so is he done with Marvel? And that was that small of a run. Marvel, if that's the case, Marvel fucked that up royally to bring Greg Capullo on and have him do a short run on Wolverine that was not that great, and then not have any big plan in place for an artist of that, notoriety, that kind of fame, coming over to Marvel. Like, you should have had something way better set up for Greg, and they dropped the ball on that. So I don't know. I'm excited for Creech though. Creech 3, which Greg has been working on for a little while, so I'm hoping that is going to be pretty badass. Kayla says Image is kicking ass, Robert Kirkman especially. Yeah, Skybound is doing a lot of great stuff right now. I like a lot of stuff that Todd's doing, Todd McFarlane Productions. Ghost Machine, a lot of people are digging that as well. So, I mean, Image is, Top Cow. Look at Top Cow. Darkness. Witchbelly came back. You got some mixed reviews, but the Darkness is coming back. We talked about that a couple weeks ago with Ed Bennis art in there. Mark Silvestri's writing. That looks fantastic. And Hunter Killer's coming back. Cyberforce is coming back. So I don't know, man. I think Image is making a really good push, a really good case for putting out some of the best stuff this year and throughout next year. Followed by DC. Maybe DC tops that. And new Batman's gonna be coming out here tomorrow, I think. With was it Matt Fraction and Jimenez? I'm looking forward to that. I think that could be cool as well. So I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff out there, but Marvel, where's Marvel? What the hell are they doing? They're messing up the X-Men history with Kamala Khan. That's what they're doing. I'm not collecting any Marvel books right now. DC and Image right now. One of the Dark Horse books as well, says YSA. I'm right there with you, man. There's nothing on my pull list for Marvel. Well, Wolverine's Revenge when that was going on. I don't even know if that's finished because I stopped reading it, but I was still collecting it just to have it. But yeah, mostly my books are Image and then DC. Yeah, Marvel. I don't know. Kale says, in which Robert Kirkman is the savior of the comic industry because The Walking Dead saved the comic industry, no lie. I will never get on board to say save the comic industry. That's a little bold statement. Saved Image Comics, yeah, absolutely. But as bad as Marvel and DC get as far as sales go, no independent book is even as good as Walking Dead was, as good as the numbers were, and I'm not denying any of that. It was fantastic. It single-handedly saved Image Comics when they actually needed a hit. That's absolutely true. You're never going to put a dent in Marvel and DC and that legacy and that fan base. As much as we don't like the stories, we don't like what they're doing, I can sit here and shit on them all day long. There's no way. If Walking Dead never existed, the industry would be exactly the same as it is right now. It was a what-if issue at best. Do you read the Shirley Johnson or the second Shirley Johnson comic yet? I think it's better than the first. It starts out, Pedal to the Metal. I have not yet. I've been so busy, Sheldon. That's one of the reasons why the Spawn review has kind of started a little bit. Partly is my fault because I've been so busy with Reaper Destroyer, the issue 2 and the Second Chance and getting that all set up and then streaming. I have not had a chance to read as many of the books that I wanted to. So, but no, if we were going to stream tonight, we were going to do Shirley Johnson too, and I was going to have to read it real quick before the stream, which gives me an excuse to read it. I have not yet, but I loved issue 1. So I'm sure that issue 2 is absolutely awesome. They fucked up with Wolverine, not putting Capullo with Chris Claremont is a sin. Yeah, I know that you're a Claremont disciple there. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is just the overall story. I don't care who was telling the story as long as it was not what it was. Is it to do that kind of not in the continuity storyline? It can work if it's going to be better, but it was crappy storytelling. Yeah, Claremont probably would have done something. I'm not as huge of a Claremont fan as you are, obviously, so you know that. So like that name doesn't just get me excited. But yeah, anybody but Hickman would have been great. Hopefully Creech doesn't make me mad. Rick, I'm right there with you, man. When you compare the original Creech and then Creech 2, you gotta wonder, does Greg still have it with that style? And I think that character needs that style. Some of the pages I've seen look really awesome. Some of the other pages I see kind of remind me a little bit more of his really recent work, which I'm not the most excited about. Like, I'd like to see him with a Danny Mickey or Galapian again. Galapian's doing his own thing, so that's not going to happen. But somebody can kind of add that feel that we love with Greg's work with the textures and stuff. Like, that's what I would really love to see. Yeah, didn't it start out with Inker and then he had to pivot because I think Galapian was doing something else, or now he's inking his own work, which Greg is really good at inking his stuff if you look at his 90s, early 2000s stuff. But lately he's kind of changed his style. It's a little more simplified. Kind of started with Batman, and throughout his DC run, he really saw that with Wolverine. Even though the pencils are a little bit more gritty, but it's not like what we are used to seeing like with Spawn. And if you're doing Creech, you need that horror vibe. You know, if you go back and look at the old Spawn, especially with Danny Mickey, you see all that crazy detail. And I just don't know if Greg has that in him to even want to do that, you know. Dennis said the Capullo art or the Wolverine art was great, but the story was kind of shit. Yeah, that's what ruined it for me, man. I read that first issue and I was out. I was just straight out. I was like, I have no desire to read the rest of this. It made no sense to me. I didn't like it. And then on top of that, I was looking at the art and I was like, Townsend was not the guy to ink over Greg. Townsend's good. It was not a good pairing in my opinion. Wiley J says, Joe, if you're a Conan fan, you should be checking out the Titan books. Great art. I'll have to. I'm not really a huge Conan fan, but I'm down for good art. Kayla can tell you that, and she's always trying to show me. And I'm all about looking at, but just like the character stuff. Like, show me the art. I'm more interested in the art, not necessarily the character or the story. Like, that's how you guys sell me on some of these things. Oh yeah, Geiger, great. Rook and Hyde Street. Hyde Street. Sorry, I haven't read Hyde Street. Geiger, I read the first issue. I read one issue of Rook. But Ghost Machine, yeah, I really enjoy what they're doing over there, even if I'm not reading and keeping up on it. Yeah, Mike, I heard that. I'm trying to, Kayla's tracked it down for me. I got to see if my LCS has. I haven't been there in a couple weeks. I might go there maybe tomorrow or the next day to check out my poll list. Maybe they already have it on there because I have Wolverine Revenge set aside. So I'd think and I would hope that they would put that on the list for me without me asking. The new Immortal Batman series looks good, so far so good. I don't know if I've seen that. I know I've read the Absolute, but I haven't read the Immortal. Image has a lot of shitty box. Wait, Image has a lot of shitty box, so hopefully these books. So hopefully these books take over with good art. It has a lot of shitty box. Yeah. I'm just hoping they, bring back some dominance. Save Diamond at the time, saved Image, save the shops. I would just agree to disagree on that. I know numbers are there, Kayla, and you work in the shop, so I won't disagree with that as far as your knowledge goes. Absolutely. You know, you got those inside numbers and stuff, but just take a step back as a whole. The comic book industry was never going to go away, and The Walking Dead coming in never saved the entire industry. Something would have happened, something would have popped up like they always do. DC and Marvel weren't going away. Image absolutely needed to save from Robert Kirkman, and that's what I could stand by 100% with you and say that Robert Kirkman saved Image Comics with Walking Dead 1000%. Losing Jim Lee, losing Rob Liefeld, they needed that. Maybe Marvel is concentrating too much on shows and movies where it hurts the comics. People probably think they don't have to read, they just watch a show. That's a great point. That's not a bad point. But if they could do both, they could make the great movies, which they haven't in a while, and they could make great comics at the same time. Imagine the boom that would be if you're making great movies and then you go to the LCSs, and now you're having awesome comics, awesome art, storylines, everything's exciting. Like back in the day, and I'm not even talking about 90s. Yeah, I'm big on the 90s. Even the early 2000s and 2000s in general, I thought were really exciting times for a lot of stuff that they were doing. That just fell off the wayside. I would love if Joe did an issue of Savage Sword like Black Colossus, only if I came on. Frank Miller and Capullo would have killed. Oh, a story writer and artist? Yeah. Well, yeah. That would have been cool. I would have been down for that. I disagree. His covers are great. Wait. His covers, I'll just say, are great. Wish they were painted, not digital painting, but still great. I don't know, you guys, what are you talking about there? Most of them are hand painted. Okay, not gonna be the same. I meant shitty books. The Image lineup is pretty bad, except for 30% of the books. No, that's what we're talking about. Like specifically, Skybound, Ghost Machine, Tom McFarlane Productions, and Top Cow right now. So you got 4 companies, right? Of all the independent books that Image puts, there's a lot of garbage that Image puts out as well. Don't get me wrong, but those 4 right there, I think could make some noise and make a difference. In the indie scene. Let's go. Conan is a shirtless barbarian. Kayla, I thought will be all you needed. Yeah. Savage Sword, Conan. Okay, all right. I'm getting this weird fetish with you guys. Yeah, Buscema is a master, absolute master. Let me bring up this screen share. So, no, I don't want to go there. Where's that? Not there. Here we go. Marvel Zombies. I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this. A lot of people like the Marvel Zombie stuff. Let me kill the music here. Mute you. A lot of people like the Marvel Zombie stuff. Now, I will tell you right off the bat, I've never been a huge Marvel Zombie fan in general. I don't like the What If universe at all. I think maybe one episode in the first season I even thought was remotely good. Never checked out the other seasons that they've done. I prefer to just forget it even exists. However, that being said, I saw this preview that was dropped today all over the place. And I gotta say, I kind of like it. So why don't you guys take a watch with me and let me know what you think. Let me turn it down because I'm sure this is always tricky with Disney. Always tricky with Disney. I got to remember to stop this. You know, if you guys see me disappear for a second, just type rest in peace in the chat. But do not do it unless I get hit. I don't want to think I got hit because you're just fucking with me. Rick. Okay. Put that out there. Let's go. Marvel Zombies. Marvel's What If, I guess, is the animation. Here we go. Trailer. Let's see what this is about. Turn it down a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Already, right off the bat, I like it. I like the violence of it. Now, granted, if you guys have even watched the What If series, maybe they've tiptoed into a little bit of the violence of this nature, but I don't know. I'm seeing something new, which right off the bat, I was like, okay, cool. Walking Dead vibes. Right off, like they're heading in the right direction here so far. I mean, what are you guys thinking? Have you seen it? Get the metal going there. I'm still not sold on this animation, though. There are parts of it that kind of look cool, but this is like that new age animation they've been doing with some of the movies and TV series. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I kind of like the old school. Well, shit, I would love just like hand drawn animation still to go back to. Even the computer generated stuff is good. This is, I don't even know what this is. Some kind of hybrid. It's like kind of realistic, but it's kind of stiff. Oh, Wakanda forever. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe not. Let's go. The cinematography in this is pretty cool. Like that shot, they definitely put some money into this. The shot of the helicopters here coming over New York City. A fallen New York City is pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty badass. No, zombie cap. So I wonder what, I never read the zombie comics. So whoever did, let me know what the story's even about. Because if all the heroes are zombies, I mean, who the hell is it the humans fighting the zombie superheroes? I don't know. I was never big into the comics, but this looks good so far. I haven't really watched this. I wanted to watch it for the first time with you guys and just kind of go through it. Wiley J says, yeah, the guy in the Conan now is as close to Buscema, sorry, art as you can get. Nice. Well, I might have to check it out. Like, I honestly have not been paying attention. Not been paying attention at all. Too slick. Yeah. Yeah, there's just something off about it a little bit. There's some things that look really good where I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Like the cinematography of those helicopters, pretty cool. I liked it. But then there's other stuff I see. I'm just like, I don't know. Marvel Zombies was its own thing. It wasn't a what if. That's why I bought The Walking Dead when it first came out because of Robert Kirkman. Did Kirkman write the Marvel Zombies? That's as much as I know about Marvel Zombies. I remember when it was on the shelves. I didn't care about it at all. Like, I like zombie movies, but I had no desire to read a Marvel zombie book. Like, it just did not entice me at all. So this is what McFarlane should be doing. Yeah, dude. Maybe not this style animation, but I agree with you. Like, he needs to, I know he's obsessed with the movie, which is cool. I want to see a Spawn movie. Don't get me wrong. But I'd love to see him just dive back into animation. You got so many awesome properties now, not just Spawn. You got Haunt. You got these side characters you could do as well as just like the Spawn universe. And yeah, do that. Start putting out some animations. All right, here we go. Is that the Hulk? It has to be. That's sick. Look at that. No, that's who is that? Abomination. It's gotta be Abomination. The Avengers are dead. Hawkeye. Okay, so Kayla, explain it to me. Explain. Okay, Kirkman did do it. Okay. How are they zombies and able to still act human-like?
They're dead.
I'm cool with it. I'm fine. Oh, that's so badass. Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited about this. As much as I might bitch about some of the things here, I'm actually kind of excited about this. Oh, okay. No, I get that. I always figured it was an alternate universe. Yeah, tell me though. Gunslinger, yeah, that'd be another one. Yeah, make feature films. Gunslinger, Spawn, Scorched, Haunt.
And they're coming for us.
No, go away. Why are they pushing this character so much?
Coming for us.
This what's her name? Poe? Something Poe. Why are they pushing this character so damn much? So she's gonna be the star. All right, you dampened my enthusiasm a little bit for this show or for this movie, whatever it is. I'm a little bit not as excited because I'm not a big fan of the actress, not a big fan of the character. It feels like she showed up in the Black Widow movie and now they're trying to make her like a face. She was like the star of Thunderbolts. I'm just not a big fan. I don't like it. That's just me. Maybe she's got fans out there. Maybe you guys like her. And it's cool. I just nope.
All right, we got a world to save.
So okay, they're picking all the people that I do not want to see as the good guys in this as the good guys. That's the she character, right? No, she Shang Shang. What did they? Shang Chung? Shang Shizzle? Who the hell is that? I don't know. This is kind of dampening my enthusiasm, I will say. The series was a crossover from the Ultimates. Reed Richards as zombie opened the portal to the zombie universe. This takes place in okay. Gotcha. Whammon Strong. Yeah. It's still doing it. Yeah, I heard that there's rumors on the Avengers set too. I don't know how true the rumors are, but that Robert Downey Jr. is not very excited because they're trying to do too much female centric ness. And it's like, if that's the case, if those rumors are true, man, that's disappointing because you would think that Marvel was kind of trying to hopefully turn the tide a little bit, but that's very disappointing. No offense to the female characters out there, great characters, but you don't need one female for every male character or flip that, which it seems like they're trying to do. Doomsday should be Robert Downey Jr., Dr. Doom, main character. That should be the most screen time. I'm sorry, it just should be. That's the star power, Robert Downey Jr. That should be what it's about. Don't give me this Florence Poe chick with her weird Russian accent. No, I don't want that. Leave that on the cutting room floor. Give us what we want. Give us the OG characters, actors back, and let's go that way. Make those guys the front runners. What we got here? What do we got here? Who's that? Namor. Oh. Interesting. You know what I'm kind of over though with zombies is the zombie scream. It's just okay, yeah, I get it. You all do it. Do something different. Can I see a zombie like whistle? Just once. Just whistle a tune. You know, that would be really scary. So have a zombie screaming and then chasing after you to like rip you apart. Just whistle, you know, like a really freaky song, like, you know, Tiptoe Through the Tulips or something. You know, that would be way scarier. Let's see that. Oh, nice. I like the violence of this though. I do like the violence. Marvel Zombies with no Dr. Voodoo. You have to tell me who that character is. Again, like I didn't read the comics, so I don't know. This is all new to me. Yeah, I heard there was a rewrite because of it, but you know how the internet. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I hear the rumors, but you never know. You gotta take those with a grain of salt, especially when they're coming from YouTube influencers. You never know if it's actually true. It could be complete BS just to get clicks. So I try not to talk about it too much as far as like really worrying. It's just stuff I've heard. We'll see how that pans out. Let's not get another one of those, the Marvels fiasco. Yeah, I hope not, man. I want to think that Marvel has turned the tide and learned its lesson. Look, Fantastic Four was actually a pretty good movie. The third act was not that great, but the first two acts, pretty good. You know? Thunderbolts, people seem to like. I still have not seen it, although I think now it's streaming, so I might check that out to see what that's all about. So take those 2 wins. I know the Fantastic Four didn't do great at the box office, but that's you got a hill to climb up right now with the Marvel fans and all the disenfranchised people out there. That's just what it is. But Doomsday should be the saving. Spider-Man, it's a Sony crossover, but Doomsday should be the thing that's the saving grace of Marvel. That's where they should turn the tide and say, hey, we've learned our lessons. We're going to give you guys what you want, what we gave you for like a decade of great stuff. We're getting back to doing that. So I hear these rumors. I'm just like, where there's smoke, there's fire sometimes. So the superhero called the Hunger Crash lands and infects the Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men, and the infection spreads by blood. And all the superheroes retain their powers. So Magneto destroys the universe transported thing and finds out that Forge and the Acolytes are alive on asteroid M. The Magneto kills, I forgot, but then dies, and then Silver Surfer comes down. Interesting. Whistle disavowed, Joe. I'm telling you, man. Whistle Tiptoe Through the Tulips. If you guys haven't heard that song, it's creepy as fuck already. Imagine a zombie popping up, all zombie formed, zombie out. I can't whistle, so I can't do it. And it just looks you in the eye with the red eyes and just whistles before it just chases after you. Now you're talking. And tells everyone that Galactus is coming, but the Silver Surfer gets turned into a zombie. What? By Wolverine, Captain America, and the Hulk and Spider-Man, I think. See, what little I know of Marvel zombies is like, I don't care about the heroes being zombies. That was never interesting to me. I'm like, so every hero comes aboard, he's turned into a zombie at some point. All right. Not very exciting of a story to me. Mike McMahon with a 4-month member chat. Thank you. Says, go to the Superior Press website and buy some books. Please do. We have a $10 off sale right now on anything in the store. It only lasts for about another 30 minutes. So these discounts have actually been working pretty good. Been getting some sales. If you guys didn't back Reaper Destroyer issue 1, go check that out. We have limited print runs of the Dale Keown cover, my cover, the black and white edition. That's limited. When they're gone, they're gone. So definitely do that before it's too late. All right, here we go. And they swear. All right. Stepping up a little bit to the R-rated violence and language. All right. I kind of like that.
Shit.
Who will save us? That is the question. Better not be Florence Poe. Oh, Thanos. Well, he's not going to save you. Zombie Thanos. Forgot about that. I used that as the picture on the cover of this video. That looks sick. I like that. And he's got the Infinity Gauntlet. Nice. Okay. So is that Doctor Strange just a head? Just a severed head in there? No body? Interesting. Black Panther, you got Spider-Man. They're not zombied out yet. Okay, I like this. I can get down with that a little bit. You give me some actual good superheroes to root for. Unlike Florence Poe and Shang-Chi. Yeah. We're getting a little bit better here. Acolytes return to Earth and find everyone dead but Lord T'Challa. The Wanda in Multiverse of Crapness kind of looked like a zombie Wanda at one point. Yeah, they did a good job making her creepy in that. Ironic that they will swear in animation but not in the movies. I feel like they've said shit in the movies before. Even in the PG-13 ones, I feel like it. Female, oh jeez, no. Then Galactus will come to Earth and the zombies eat what? Then there's a bunch of zombie villain hero fight and there's a time jump. That's just dumb. Yeah, the story's not selling me with that one, Kayla. Nope. Is this enough or do I need to go on? That's enough. Galactus coming to Earth and being eaten by zombies? Nah, that's dumb as shit. I like Kurtman's writing, but that's dumb as shit. You have covered it, I think. Yeah, Kayla did great. Thank you, Kayla. You did a great job. Great job of breaking that down. You should do that. That's awesome. Now I know what it's about. Now I know I'm not going to buy it. Oh, that's cool. That's Spidey's new suit, too. I think, right? The brand new day costume. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's a brand new day costume they got. So you're kind of debuting that in this show. Yeah, I think that is. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna watch this. All right, I'm gonna watch. There's some cool. Just shout out to the animation. I know some of it is stiff. It looks weird, but I like the choreographed fight scenes and some of these like, you know, wow moments. Trailer wise, you got me on here. I'm gonna check it out. I got some complaints. I don't know if I'm actually gonna like it, but I'm definitely gonna check it out. That's badass. Okay, Thor's here. Oh, was that Wanda? Is that a zombie Wanda? Gotta be. Blade. Zombie Ant-Man? You serious? Now that's fucked up. Oh, there you go. Yeah, not for long. Shout out to the animation on this as far as just the direction, the directing, the choreography, the choreography of the fight scenes here is pretty good. Pretty good. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed by that. Rick said I just bought some Marvel Zombies. No, it was a popular run. A lot of people like it. I'm just, I'm contrarian sometimes, I guess. If a lot of people like something, I usually find something bad in it. I'm like, that's just what I do. You got to stand out from the crowd sometimes, guys. You got to think for yourself. Do your own thing. That is sick. That is sick. I have to say. That's pretty awesome. The animation makes me think of Tall Tale Games, who did the Walking Dead games. Okay. I'm not a big gamer, as you know, but definitely, I know you play those. Yeah, it's not bad, right? It's not bad. It's just there's sometimes I don't even know how to explain it because there's sometimes I'm like, wow, that is really cool. And there's other times I'm like, it looks a little stiff. It kind of takes me out of it. That's cool. That is cool. Sheldon says, you think there would be at least one hot zombie like in the return? Oh yeah. Yeah, Amelia Clark. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Return of the Living Dead 3. You know how many times I watched that movie and by myself in my room and in my sock.
That's how you do that then.
Go away. Go away. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of hers. Is this Kamala Khan too? Is that who that is? Go away, all of you. Just leave the story. Wow. So it's got all the big name actors doing the voices. That's cool. I don't know if they did that for the series. I forgot to look. I thought maybe sometimes they did, but I don't know. Maybe they did. I like it though. I'm gonna check it out. Disney Plus. Let's go. All right. What do you guys think of that? You like it? Think it looks cool? You're gonna watch it? I'll watch it. I'll let you guys know what I think. But Marvel Zombies has always been one of those fun reads. Let's see. There's some snippets in the bad Marvel projects that ain't too bad. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I've enjoyed the Battle World, Secret Wars, Marvel Zombies, and wish they were going to add these characters if they just did that Secret Wars Battle Worlds and did Elsa Bloodstone instead. The last scene of the 3 looked like Archer animation. Oh, there you go. That's a good call, Sheldon. It does kind of remind me of Archer. Yeah. And I didn't like Archer's animation either. Funny show. I like see the funny thing is like I like zombies too. I really do like zombies, but I'm just not a simp for zombies or zombie anything. Like it's got to be actually something I really enjoy. I like The Walking Dead, the TV show. Walking Dead was great. Not a big fan of the comic. That's just because that's not my thing. Just the same thing with Marvel Zombies. But no, I enjoy zombies. I was big into zombies in the 90s, early 2000s and everything. I still am. It's got to have just more than just zombies in it. because after a while, it's just like, you've done everything with a zombie. You got to be smart with the storytelling and the writing in a movie or a TV series to make me really enjoy that. And to be honest with you, between The Walking Dead, The Last of Us, name any of the other shows that have come out over the last 10 to 15 years that are all the post-apocalyptic storylines, whether they're zombies or monsters, or I'm just kind of over that. Like it was just, they beat it to death, in my opinion. I have fascination with zombies. I used to be petrified of them. Oh, I was never scared of them. I just always thought it was cool. This all didn't look too bad. No, I think it looks decent, guys. I think it looks decent. I'm gonna check it out. We're gonna see how that goes. By the way, guys, hit the like button if you're in here. I appreciate all 9 of you in the chat here on YouTube hanging out with me tonight. That is awesome. We have 59 over on X. Wherever you guys are watching, please hit the like button, share it, jump in the chat if you want, and join in on the conversation. It's always fun. And if you do, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to build this channel. I've got the Dale Keown stream actually netted me, I think, 50 new subs. So that was awesome. Trying to grow this, though. Sometimes it's hard. I always think that YouTube is kind of shadow banning me in certain ways because you don't see any growth or in recommendations. But I've been getting those lately. Been getting some new people that just came because they saw the not only the live stream I did with Dale, but they've seen older videos as well. So that's been pretty cool. Like I said, there's that hype button. You can go on to different videos. You can hype that video if you really like it to get it out there. Definitely do that. If you see the hype video or the hype button, hit that for me. Hit that for me. Yeah, just 9 in here on the it's a lot of people are streaming, doing their thing. Usually this would be a spawn night, but my co-host couldn't make it, so I'm just doing this. Rick Saylor is taking over the #1 spot. Going for his 9th domination victory. K. Ojo is in the 2nd spot, and Dennis Kelly sitting there at number 3. Shout out to you guys. That is the leaderboard. If you guys are wondering what that is, it's whoever wins and who gets that #1 spot by the time I end the show goes on the leaderboard, and we add up all of the victories at the end of the year, and that winner is going to get something special from the channel. And I'm going to make it special. It's going to be pretty cool. My mother used to put Night of the Living Dead on when we were bad as kids. It scared me until she made me watch It's a Wonderful Life. Wow. Yeah, that's a that's a good punishment. Then I would beg to watch Night. Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. All right, well, Dennis Kelly's number 2 now. Okay, Kelly's number. Yeah, yeah, number 2. You jumped it. I like it. I like the competition is good tonight. Competition is good. Zambies, says Alex VRB. Good to see you, brother. Welcome. All right, we're gonna close out this show by doing some music talk. Music talk. If you guys don't know, I was in a band for a number of years in my youth. Heavy metal. I love metal. I love music. It's something that's a part of me. Comics, drawing, music. Those are my 2 major loves, right? Drawing and music. And I got to experience that with my metal band, Mine Enemies Fall, back in the day. Did a lot of touring, met a lot of people, played a lot of awesome shows. It was a great, fun time that I'll always cherish. And now I'm doing my other love right now, making comics and doing that with Reaper Destroyer and Superior Press and everything we're doing. By the way, Reaper Destroyer Second Chance campaign launching September 19th. We're going to do it right here, maybe some other places as well. But if you missed the first campaign, this is a good time to jump on. Brand new covers by Isaac Bell. We're redoing the Ashcan cover and getting that out there because that's been high demand. People have wanted that. And we're doing a Dale Keown sketch cover as well. Going to be bare bones, 30 days. That's it. Then it goes to print and everybody gets their books. 3 covers. Like I said, bare bones. It's going to be a very simple campaign. We're going to run it one and done, get in and out, and get ready for Reaper Destroyer issue 2 launching sometime late October, early November, somewhere around there. So get on that. Sign up for it now. I'm sure mods, if Rick's in the channel, drop the links to the Reaper Destroyer 2 sign up. If you sign up for that, you are signed up for the launch of the Second Chance campaign as well. I will do all my communication through that email sign up for both campaigns. One and done. That's all you have to do. All right, back to music. So we got to talk some really good music with Dale Keown 2 weeks ago on the Ronan Joe show on Sunday. And it got me thinking, I need to incorporate more of my stuff into my personal shows. And I wanted to take a look at my favorite band, Pantera. Was a big influence on Phil and Son was a big influence on me vocally, as well as my band in general. And my favorite album of theirs was The Great Southern Trendkill. Came out in 1996. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to give you a little bit of an education with this video right here. And we're going to go over the making of The Great Southern Trendkill. So get ready. I think I should be good on this. I don't think I'll be hit with the stuff I'm looking at. Just read Reaper again. Loved it. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. If you guys have read it, share out the sign-up sheet. Let people know that you did read it. Help hype the book. Help hype the book for the Second Chance campaign. Help hype it for the second book. We're going to go some really fun places with this book. We're going to go in a little bit of a different direction. I think people are thinking that we were going to go, but I'm producing some of the best art in my life. I'm working with one of the best inkers, underrated Marlo Aquiza that you could get, making my shit look absolutely awesome. Dave Kemp is going to put a polish on this when it comes to colors. This book is going to be one of the best looking books. Reaper's Story issue 2 is going to be one of the best looking books you're going to back and get. I guarantee you. And the story's pretty damn good if I do say so myself. But back that Second Chance campaign if you can, but definitely get ready for issue 2. Definitely. Yeah, Dale motherfucking Keown. Let's go. I highly recommend going back and watching the older kids, especially the interviews with older pros. Yes. Zombies would be scary, but zombie superheroes would is on the next level. Scary. Imagine someone like Rubber Man being a zombie. No, the concept of it is scary. Yeah. Concept. It's just, I don't know. Oh, Joe was in only heavy metal boy bands. I got you. Yeah, no. That was Sean. Yeah. No, I did the metal thing. Yeah, for a good number of years. All right, Pantera, making it the Great Southern Trendkill. Let's jump into this. I thought this was great. This is only 10 minutes long, so let's jump into this to end the show. We'll get a little bit of our music fix, and if you guys like this, maybe I'll start adding some more music content into this channel. So here we go. Pantera, the story of the Great Southern Trendkill. Here we go.
The mid-90s were a weird time for metal. Even pioneers Metallica, who went pretty commercial with 1991's The Black Album, followed it up with an even more commercial record with 1996's Load and the following year's Reload.
By the way, did you know that the cover of Load was supposedly like a money shot? There's supposedly a cum shot there.
1996's Load and
the more you know.
Reload. Not to mention a full image makeover with shorter.
You got to remember that this was a time where Metallica was coming off of the long hair thrash metal that they kind of revolutionized in the 80s throughout the early 90s and did a complete flip. A little bit more commercial look, cut their hair, did a different like rebranding, which worked for them. They're still the biggest metal band in the world, so shout out to them. But it definitely pissed a lot of people off in the metal community. I remember because I was there. I was one of them.
For hair, more artsy album covers and videos. To some fans, it was a betrayal or worse, selling out. But that's something Pantera fans could never say about their band. With each release, Pantera seemed...
See, now that looks like a metal band right there, guys. I'm sorry. Pantera just had the metal look that all the metal bands wanted to look like. Even into the early 2000s, even to when I started playing music, everybody looked back at Pantera like that's how a metal band should look. Thank you, Rick, for dropping those links, man. Appreciate it.
To fly in the face of whatever was popular at the time. And as metal seemed irrelevant by 1996, the band would proceed to write their heaviest record yet with their 8th studio album, The Great Southern Trend.
Great Southern Trendkill was my favorite album that they put out because it was the album that introduced me to Pantera. Drag the Waters was on the radio, and that was a big hit amongst all the kids my age at the time. And then you go to the record store, you go to Best Buy, CDs, whatever, and you look at this cover, and you're just like, this cover right here, that is what a metal band cover should look like. Look at that Diamondback rattlesnake, just evil as fuck. Pantera, the Great Southern Trendkill. That was something else right there. Like, that is hard to beat, man, even to this day. Sheldon Martin for $5. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. He says, how many pages are you planning for the next Reaper? Here's money. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Reaper Destroyer is going to be one. It's going to be less. So it's not going to be $25. Now I have to figure out exactly what I'm charging for it because it's going to be anywhere from 24 pages to 32. If it's under 30 pages, it's going to be $15. If it's over 30 pages or that 32 mark, then it's going to be $20. But I want to make it a little bit cheaper, but I don't want to do another 40-page book because they take forever. I want to get this book out faster to you guys. And any way I can do that is my kind of goal. And I'm just, I'm here to make floppies, not graphic novels. I got a story to tell. It's a serialized story. It's an ongoing story being in the first story arc. So I want to kind of limit the pages so we can do a little bit more focus on certain scenes and slow burn the story instead of trying to fit so much into 40 pages or 50 pages. So yeah, there you go. 24 to 32 pages. Right now it's looking like probably 32. And that could be around $15 to $20 when I launch it. But thank you, Sheldon. Appreciate you, man. Vulgar Displays, my favorite, but Southern is pushing for number one. Vulgar is great too, man. I like all the Pantera albums. Every single one has a place in my heart.
The band's previous release, 1994's Far Beyond Driven.
Yeah, that's a great
was an
one
album
too.
that surprised many people.
Number one, debuting a metal band, unheard of. Debuting at number one. It was only for like 2 weeks, but it still counts. Far Beyond Driven, number one. Just absolutely shot these guys to stardom after Vulgar. Vulgar broke the mold. They came off of Cowboys from Hell, doing a little bit more of that like high singing, still kind of 80s metal thrash sound. A little Judas Priest, with the vocals there with Phil Anselmo. They smashed the mold though. They went straight like chunky rhythm punk, heavy riff style. The vocals got heavier, more gritty, more raw with Phil on Vulgar Display. And then they came out with Far Beyond Driven, and it was just a polished sound. It was just amazing. Number one. Freaked everybody out.
It debuted at the number one spot on the Billboard charts. The album didn't get much love from rock radio or a lot of attention from MTV, so some wondered, where could the band go next? Pantera would begin work on their follow-up record in the fall of 1990.
The thing, too, about Pantera is they were very anti-establishment, not because it was trendy, not because it was cool. It's just because that's what it was. They didn't get a lot of love from the radio stations or MTV, like it said. They were a true grassroots kind of band. They created a following, and that following was fierce. And they came out to all the shows, packed stadiums, packed arenas, packed clubs. And it didn't matter they didn't have that number one hit or a video on. They did have videos, but it wasn't like heavily played on the pop culture there, MTVs or the radio. But they still dominated the metal scene. Probably the most popular metal band of the '90s, hands down.
5, perhaps against their better judgment. But their record label wanted a new record with bassist Rex Brown telling Guitar World. We were also burned out by that point. A lot of the discipline and structure we used to have went out the window. Pantera's songwriting process up until this point saw guitarist Dimebag Darrell bring tapes of riffs to the band, where they would proceed to write fully fleshed out songs. But things were different this time around, according to Brown, who would recall to author John Wiederhorn. Dime used to bring a riff tape in and say, okay, here's what we have to work with. And that wasn't happening as much as the riff tape was wearing out. So we just go in there and all start playing. It's funny because kids go, Great Southern was the best record you ever put out. And I go, how could that be? Because it happened in such an off the cuff way.
I think that's what made the album great is you had these really great, structured album. Far Beyond Driven was probably their most structured album. It was just a beautifully written album. The sound was so great, the tones and everything, the songwriting was great. You had great hooks, catchy riffs, the vocals were awesome, memorable songs. And then you get Great Southern Trendkill came out, and it was just like a hit to the face, like a boot to the face. It was just straight, more thrashy. Yeah, someone maybe a little bit more unorganized, and maybe they didn't like that from their structure. I get it, and they're going to talk about this in this video here, some of the issues they had writing this album. But maybe some of that chaos is what made this album so special. And a lot of people my age in their late or early 40s or late 30s absolutely have this album in great reverence. Burnout, welcome to the chat. Appreciate you. Says, do you like Superjoint Ritual? Yes, I do. Superjoint Ritual, specifically their first album. Their second album is good. I know they made a third album not too long ago as well, which I haven't really dug too much into that. But their first album, when that came out, was awesome. Because that was like, Pantera had kind of was stalled. Phil was doing his own thing. You had Down out there, and Down's another great band. But Superjoint was like the closest to that Pantera feel. Because even though it wasn't the same kind of Southern thrash, Southern groove that Dime was doing. but it had more of that New Orleans kind of flavor, indie sound to it. But then you had Phil just raw vocals, and there's something very special about that first album. The second album was okay, but that first album, Super Joint, yeah, that was really, really good.
We didn't even go back and re-record it, he would say. But Dimebag told a different story when he was interviewed by Guitar World, revealing that some of the riffs off the album were old, including fan favorite Floods, which dated back to the group's club days in 1988, when he would improvise solos on stage, while some of the other riffs dated back to the early 90s. The band's original plan was to record the album in Dallas, about 45 minutes from Dimebag's Arlington home, but as the guitarist told Guitar World in 1996, those plans changed, recalling,
"Oh shit, man, I gotta take a look at the leaderboard there. Sheldon Martin has come in and taken over that #1 spot. Rick has fallen to 3, and Dennis Kelly has gone up to #2. This has been a great competition tonight, guys. Keep it up. This has been fun to watch. Who is going to get that #1 spot at the end of the night? Is it going to be newcomer Sheldon Martin? We're going to find out. Where did Bo Biggs go?
I've got to tell you, bro, I wasn't into the idea at all. You know, you wake up, you jump into your hot rod, but by the time everybody's made it to the studio, somebody's hungry, so you got to go out and get a bite to eat. That leaves you unmotivated. So you sit around and watch the big screen TV, play pool, and drink beer. I didn't want that to happen, so we just did it here. It was following the band's last tour that the guitarist built a studio in a barn in his backyard called Chase and Jason Studios. With him adding to Guitar World, it started off as a jam room, but then we decided to do our demos here, so we brought in some gear. The demos were so tough and lethal sounding that we were like, man, that's almost it, right?
Yeah, sometimes you get big enough, you create your own studio like Pantera did, and there's definitely a feel, definitely a different feel to it. I mean, they were produced for the first 3 albums, I want to say, and then I think Vinnie Paul co-produced Great Southern Trendkill, and they recorded it in a different area. And there's some factors that I think go into like the raw and pain of this album that makes it stand out from all the rest. But this was right before Reinventing the Steel, where they produced their entire thing. Vinny produced it, and they recorded it themselves. And you could see the maturation process of this band. And the last album doesn't get a lot of love because they ended up breaking up because 9/11 happened. I think they were in Osaka, Japan, I think, when that happened. And then they never played again. And then they kind of took a hiatus. Phil was doing his drug thing, doing Super Joint and Down. And then Dime and Vinny did Damage Plan, and then Dime was murdered, and that was kind of it. So the last album, Reinventing the Steel, didn't give as much love, but it's a fantastic album. It might be my second favorite to Great Southern Trendkill. I don't know. Like, I like them all. It's hard when you really sit down, but it could be.
But not everything went smoothly in the makeshift studio. As bassist Rex Brown recalled to Wiederhorn, he put up 3 walls and made a studio inside of it. It was quite an experience. We had built all these ISO caps to get the sound down, but we had a huge phase control problem. That's why it's called Chase and Jason Studios, because there was always something effing wrong. There was buzz going around the whole effing place. And that on top of the fact that we were making our most experimental record ever, something that sometimes didn't even have a coherent structure to it, made us all crazy. But the band's recording plans soon hit a wall. While frontman Phil Anselmo was present for the demos, he was dealing with serious back pain. He wasn't interested in getting...
This was actually kind of the fall of Pantera, really, when you think about it. It's why this album is so interesting. Like, it was so great, but this was actually kind of the start of the end. Phil was having so many problems. This kind of put him into the drug abuse that he kind of went in through starting in 96, the beginning of 96, and really was up and down with heroin and different drugs, drinking very heavily. Kind of started the downfall, but just damn, what a good album.
Surgery due to the long recovery time, which could have lasted anywhere from a year to a year and a half. So instead, the frontman self-medicated, turning to heroin and painkillers. Anselmo soon isolated himself from the rest of the band, setting up shop in New Orleans at Trent Reznor's Nothing Studios, while the rest of the...
Now, I don't know if he mentions it here in this video, but Phil was from New Orleans. So the Pantera was from Fort Worth, Dallas, Texas. That's where Vinny and Dime were. That's where Pantera originated. And Phil came from New Orleans to be there. And so when he was dealing with all of this, the back pain and self-medication, drugs, he was doing these hard, he kind of retreated back to his home, which he went fairly often whenever he got a chance. This was the first time I think they were actually away from each other doing vocals, where he was recording vocals here in New Orleans at his home, and the other guys were writing in Dallas. Sean said, sometimes magic happens when you least expect it. It happens, though, when every musician in the band is a creative genius. Now, that's a great point, man. R. Lund, welcome, says, Pantera picked up the void. Metallica left with the Black Album. Perfect timing. Yeah, that's a great point. Like we covered earlier in this video when we started it, that Metallica was kind of they were changing their style, right? And they're going off and doing some more of the commercial stuff, and they're kind of leaving the like thrash metal that made them so popular in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, and they were kind of going and doing something else. And Pantera was rising up at that time, and they were already making noise in the local scenes before they got signed, and then they went out and did Cowboys from Hell, which was well received, and Vulgar came out and was just boom. But Far Beyond came out and just it filled that void, man. And they kind of became that anti-establishment metal band. It's like all your heroes are going and doing the fucking radio shit, and they're compromising. I wrote a song in Mind Enemy's Fault called Bow to the Pressure, kind of based on Metallica, because they went that direction to get new fans, whereas bands like Pantera and Slayer, they stayed the course and they did whatever they wanted to do. And that realism is what gained them such fierce following from their fans. And even to this day is why people love them. But yeah, great point, man. Excellent point.
Band remained back in Texas. Drummer Vinnie Paul would tell John Wiederhorn, Phil was going through a lot of mental distress, and it's all on that record. You can feel the pain, you can see it, you can hear it, and it affected all of us, no doubt. Anselmo, for his part, would tell the Do You Know Jack radio show his thinking behind recording separately from the band, recalling, on a personal level, I wasn't doing all that well because I was injured. I was making every rookie mistake in the world with pain medication and all that stuff.
Good call.
And I was embarrassed. I didn't want to see anybody, man. I was in a bad way. But Anselmo's bandmates knew what he was up to, as Rex Brown soon noticed he was getting involved in harder drugs. Manager Walter O'Brien would recall in the book Reinventing Metal, it was a constant conflict. It was like pulling teeth. By Great Southern Trendkill, he made Dime fly back and forth with the master tape so he could add vocals and make musical suggestions. That was the real start of the end.
I remember people point to that kind of being, and I've heard this story many times. I heard it from Phil doing interviews as well as Vinny and Dime and all that throughout the years. And I'm fortunate enough to know people that were close to Vinny, and so I hear that side of the story quite a bit as well. But this was kind of just like, this was Phil's start of his distancing from the band. One, for whatever reason, because he's going through this health issue with his back, and now he's doing a lot more drugs and kind of getting into deeper and deeper stuff. It was driving a wedge between him and the rest of his bandmates, and that kind of started stuff. Even though they got back together again, had an awesome tour in 96, had a great tour in 97, Ozfest 98, 2000. Like, they were doing great stuff up to that point still, but Phil was struggling so much that it was really hurting the band. But a lot of people push back to this point and say this is kind of where it started. And it's kind of hard to argue, to be honest with you. And I'm a huge Phil Anselmo fan, but this was probably the beginning of the end. And what a shame, man. What a shame. If this didn't happen, if Phil didn't estrange himself from Pantera in 2001, and if Dime was never murdered, they probably would have got back together at some point. And we could have had maybe 2-3 more albums of Pantera, probably still around to this day doing their thing. And man, kind of robbed, man.
Phil wanted to stay in New Orleans. Communication fell apart. Cooperation was non-existent. And the tone of the album is depressing and confrontational. To this day, I can't listen to the album.
Yeah. Trent Reznor, he recorded his vocals
on May 7th.
Phil recorded his vocals at Trent Reznor's studio in New Orleans. I think he was friends with Trent. I mean, that whole New Orleans music scene down there was a lot of people jammed together, side bands. I even think that Phil had a side band with Trent at one point doing something. I don't know if that ever made the light of day, because I remember back in the day when Down happened, Super Joint 2 happened like right around 98 or 97 before they actually recorded an album, because every time Phil would go back home, he'd just jam with his buddies, Crowbar, I Hate God, all these bands. They just get together and they jam together, and they create a super band or a band here or there. They record demos. Those demos would go out in video or cassette tapes or whatever, and they get filtered out around there. I want to say that there was a band he was in. Maybe somebody correct me out there, but I do believe he was in a band at one point, or at least did a couple songs with Trent Reznor. But yeah, this was his studio that Phil recorded the vocals in.
Trendkill made it clear that Pantera wasn't going to dilute their sound. They didn't care whether.
I'm just gonna say, man, there is no band that looks as badass as Pantera. They just had the fucking look because they were just doing themselves. I mean, Phil going through this, that phase where he just looked like he was pissed off all the time. They just had the look and they had the sound. Just they'll never be touched again. I don't care. It's like Image Comics to me. The Image founders, that era will never be touched again in comics. To me, the metal scene will never be touched again as Pantera in their heyday.
People thought metal was dead or not. This was Pantera doubling down, and it proved to be the band's hardest album to date, with Anselmo's lyrics taking aim at the media as well as drugs, and about a flood that wipes out humanity. The album would debut at number 4 on the
Yeah,
Billboard
there's some
charts,
sick
moving
lyrics
nearly
in
500,000
Great Southern
copies
Trendkill.
before fading away. Billboard magazine wrote
That's
the
a
album
fact,
off as a
man.
commercial disappointment, as it initially failed to match the success of the group's previous effort.
Hell
The
yeah.
label attempted to release the song Floods to rock radio in an effort to revive slagging sales, with Greg Thompson, the senior VP of promotion, telling the magazine, Pantera makes no excuses for what they do. From a promotional standpoint, we did everything we could to further their exposure. Pantera is like fish. A lot of the group's fan base are not active radio listeners. Our job is to increase their base. The album would end up going gold, and nearly a decade later it was certified platinum.
That's what's so impressive about them, man, is they did everything opposite of what like the big studios wanted them to do. They didn't listen to the advice of these people to go get the bigger fan base and to expand and do all this stuff. They're going to do what they do, and they're going to keep on making more and more fans because they were the realest band out there. If you guys ever saw Pantera back in the day, saw live performances, I can't play any on here because YouTube will hit me with a strike or something because of the music content. But if you get a chance, go watch a live performance, not just a song here or there. Go watch an entire concert. They're all over the place. Just type in Pantera full concert. Pick any era you want. I would say some of the best stuff is like 95, 96, 97. I think you're going to get some of the best concerts there, fully recorded, bootleg back in the day. But you want to see how a band comes out and just controls the crowd and just performs a show, just being themselves, just being badass. That's why they were so revered and why people loved them so much. That and they came out with the home videos, 1, 2, and 3 back in the day, and that was great because you got an insight to their lives, and it was just like pieced together home videos that Dime would take, and it was like live performances and just goofing off and fucking around on the road. That is really what brought their popularity and made them such more like the people's metal band,
that plagued the recording of the record also came back to haunt the group while they were on the road. At a homecoming show on July 13th, 1996 at the Coca-Cola Starplex in Dallas, Texas, Anselmo would suffer a drug overdose and be brought back to life by paramedics. 4 days later, the singer issued a press release to the media. He would talk to MTV about the incident.
They talked about it, man, because they did Dime Vision. Remember when Damage Plan was going on? When Phil was doing Superjoint and Down, and Vinny and Dime decided to do their own thing again. They got a new band together, Damage Plan, which was really good, by the way, too. That's another really awesome band that they had. But they did Dime Vision 1, which was the same thing, same concept, except it was Damage Plan instead of Pantera. Now, there's been talk of, I don't know if it's going to happen anymore, but I remember in 2012 when I went down, I toured Texas for the first time with my band, My Enemies Fall. I met some people down there. One of the guys I met, his name was Warren, cool cat. He was friends with Vinny. So we got to meet Vinny, and when he was doing Hell Yeah, and got to meet the entire band, go to Vinny's house. I've told this story before when Dale was on. But they had talked at that point that there was so much footage that Dime had taken that they were going to put out a Dime Vision 2, and it never happened. But they could. I don't think there'll be another Pantera, although I there's probably got to be a ton of the estate. Dime's estate probably still has a ton of footage from that time. So maybe. What's funny about this interview right here is when he sits down with this MTV Headbangers Ball chick, this right here, this interview that they're going to talk about was taken in Kalamazoo, Michigan. That's right down the street from me. Wing Stadium is where they did this interview not too long, like a week or so after he OD'd, and then came back. So I always thought that was kind of cool.
When he was interviewed on Headbangers Ball.
Oh, there's my guy right there. Yeah. You were coming through, Arlund. Yeah, Pantera Kalamazoo live is amazing. That's my backyard. Mine Enemies Fall was from Kalamazoo, fucking Michigan, as I would say every night on stage. But yeah, that show is, and for the longest time, you couldn't find that footage. You could find like bits and pieces from that Headbangers Ball piece that they put out in Wing Stadium at Kalamazoo. And then just recently, within the last few years, I saw the actual, like, it's only like 30 minutes. It's not the entire performance, I don't think, but the performance at Wings. And I only think they played Wings like a handful of times in their career. My dad, I think, was working on the expansion of Wings because he was a construction worker back in the early 90s when Pantera came through, I think, was Skid Row. And that was always a cool story he told me. But yeah, man, shout out, Arlund. Hell yeah. Good call on that.
All, as you can see here.
Ball, definitely. So we're glad to be here.
Yeah, this
so
is
Phil,
at Wing Stadium right here at Kalamazoo.
About,
is where this interview is from.
Happened. I mean, that really must have shaken you up really badly. How are you feeling?
Watch it go, yes.
I overdosed.
Oh, yeah, I lost the audio for some reason on this for about 30 seconds. Maybe they didn't have the rights to do this actual interview. We basically just goes through about like how he OD'd, how he came back. And what's funny about this, I love Phil. Love you, man. But Phil was such a cocky dude, which is one of the reasons why people loved him so much. But in this interview, he's like, that'll never happen again. Never going to fuck around with that stuff. Never going to do hair. I'm too strong, too mentally strong to do that. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case, my guy. Unfortunately. But this dude right here, this is the epitome of a front man. Everybody wanted to be Phil Anselmo when they were younger. Everybody my age when we were doing metal 10, 15, 20 years ago wanted to have that presence. A lot of people thought that I'm not going to lie. I kind of copied his stage persona. I did. But it wasn't necessarily I was trying to be Phil Anselmo on stage. I was just trying to be that confident, cocky front man that could talk to the crowd, whether we were playing in front of thousands of people or 10 people. It didn't matter. Like, you got on the stage, and how he talked to the crowd, how he would bullshit is exactly how I would do stuff on stage as well. And this dude set the example.
Everybody makes mistakes, but I truly learn from my mistakes, and I have that ability to turn that light switch off. And I'm going to keep that particular light switch off in my life forever.
Good. I'm very pleased to hear that. Yeah. And you said in your statement that it made you realize what you really valued in your life.
Sure.
It's very true. Very true. I used to wake up and dread the day, wake up every time I go to bed. I'd just be like, ugh, I can't really face tomorrow. And really, it was not.
Yeah,
it was.
I got that a lot when I was, especially because I got my hair long. I kind of dressed a little bit like him because they set the standard for what bands look like,
Time when you're going through something like that, it's tough to see the big picture, but it's pretty easy. Omit that stuff, live happier, so it's just all natural.
I wish he listened to his own advice, man.
A lot closer together, and
I wish he had
taken it not as a negative but as a positive. It's made us better on stage. It's made us closer as people and as friends too. So always, there's bad things in this world, but hey, if you can take them and turn them into some good, so be it.
Absolutely. Yep. But on that same note,
tell us.
After I'd overdosed the very next night, we played the next night. There's no rehab. There's no trial period of getting the whole band back together. We never lost a step. And I think that took a lot of character from everybody on our crew and our band and stuff. And I think that, they deserve.
We got AZHQ in the house. I missed you, man. Good to see you. With mates like Lane Staley, yeah. How much money he had and pressure, almost impossible to stay clean, I reckon. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing back then, man. I mean, there was so much heroin and shit going on and other drugs, obviously cocaine, weed, which is, whatever, that's fine, but there was some hard shit. Yeah, it's hard in that, even in the indie scene, we saw that shit in the indie scene. We saw, obviously meth, cocaine, heroin. It's just something, for some reason, it leaks its way into that music scene, whether you're indie, whether you're giant rock stars. It's hard to kind of avoid, man. And once you go down that path, unfortunately, it's hard to come back from.
To be commended on that, and I thank them.
He would tell VH1's Behind the Music that he had an enormous amount of shame and relapsed a few more times since then while he was with Pantera. In the years that followed, Anselmo would refer to the album as a dark horse record for the band, And Vinnie Paul would look back saying he had trouble listening to the album given the circumstances it was recorded under.
But that sucks too, because they only play like, I mean, honestly, now in their newer stuff or their new sets, they play like Suicide Note Part 2. But when this album came out, they went and toured on it, and I think they only played like 3 or 4 songs. Some of the songs they wrote on this album were so hard to play that they couldn't perform it live. So they stuck with their popular stuff. They played like War Nerve, which is a badass song. Suicide Note Part 2 obviously was great. Sandblasted Skin. But after that, I mean, think about some of these songs. You don't hear a lot of the songs from these albums played live. I think I heard 13 Steps. I found one live performance of 13 Steps. I thought it actually sounded pretty good. But that's pretty much it.
Musician Moby would defend the album, telling Classic
Moby
so unrelentingly dark.
He is correct here, though.
War Nerve are the most unrelentingly evil lyrics you can imagine. They make church-burning Norwegian Satanists.
Yeah, go read the lyrics to Great Southern Trendkill.
Anselmo would tell the
There's definitely some pain there coming from a writer myself, songwriter myself.
Crowds on their tour due to the state
definitely
of heavy
poured
metal.
That into the album.
Our road manager approached me and he said, "Phil, man, don't expect sold-out shows. Heavy metal's on its way out. Kids are listening to different stuff, and it's going to be rough. Don't expect this, don't expect that." And I was like, great, I appreciate the pep talk. But the best thing that remedied this bullshit diatribe was that he was dead wrong. That first show was packed to the gills, sold out, as were most of the other ones. I think as a perfect segue when we cover Pantera's follow-up
he was definitely high
album, Reinventing the Steel, would be something that bassist Rex Brown told John Wiederhorn, saying, "I'm still not crazy about 2 or 3 songs on there, but there's a lot of good stuff on there." After we made that record, Phil got his expletive together and we toured. We were one of the biggest bands out there. We did the second Ozfest, which was great money.
Oh, they dominated Ozfest in 98. Yeah, if you go back and watch some of those Ozfest, what I like about the Ozfest stuff is their sets were a little bit shorter. So usually Pantera would play for like an hour and a half, mostly because they would fuck around a lot in between songs, which was what made their live show great. That's why you went to see Pantera, is to see Phil Anselmo rant and talk about whatever he was going to talk about, and the brothers do fun shit with the crowd, everything you would see in the the videos and all that stuff. But they had to have a tighter set with the Ozfest stuff because they were played right before Ozzy. And so you're talking about 45 minutes to an hour, and they just went in and killed it. Boom, their set was amazing. So go back and look at some of the stuff from live performances from 98, especially the Ozfest stuff.
We played through 98.
Great stuff.
And then we did the Black Sabbath reunion in 99. By the end, we were all completely worn out, and we needed a break. But every time...
AZHQ said, plus he was with Trent Reznor recording this, who also loved that smack. Yeah, he surrounded himself with some bad people. I mean, honestly, he probably should have stayed in Dallas and Fort Worth around the brothers and around Rex. Would probably have been a lot better for his health than going back home to New Orleans to all the guys where it seemed like that was the thing to do. Hard drugs, especially heroin, and just kind of getting lost in that music scene. Like that was kind of his mistake right there. Yeah, absolutely.
We tried to stop. Something came up that we couldn't turn down. That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like button and subscribe, and we'll see you again. Rock and Roll True Story.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. My favorite band, Pantera, right there, guys. Definitely go if you're new to Pantera, which is fine, people are, go check them out. If you like heavy metal, if you like great riffs, definitely do that. Let me see if I can find something real quick of myself, and I'll show you how much I patterned myself after Phil. It wasn't necessarily that I did it on purpose, where I'm like, I'm going to be the new Phil Anselmo. It was just kind of, I'd watched so many live performances of Phil that when I started doing the frontman stuff, I was like, this is how a frontman acts. This is how a frontman talks, like, so there's a certain way you talk to the crowd. You got to talk to the crowd. Let me see if what one is a good one here. I don't know if this is a good representation or not. I probably had better ones out there where I definitely went on some rants myself. That definitely happened. Trust me. This was My Band, Mine Enemies Fall. Look at that handsome young man right there with the lady killer hair. That's what you're talking about. Heroin addicts can go for years function. Yeah, I knew some personally people that dabble with that stuff, and unfortunately took him in the end. So yeah, that is absolutely true. That's another irony. Phil would be in healthier environment hanging out with alcoholics. Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely true. We'll have to split. Love the show. Joe was a great show. Hail Reaper Destroyer 2 Type 1 and Reaper Reset. Let's go, man. Let's go. I'm not going to play all of this, but I just want to show you it's such a, and this might not be the best representation. I don't know. But this is 2014 Rocklahoma. My Name is Fall. This was a full concert.
I love it, man. Shit. It's like a little boy. I giggle every time I see titties. It's weird. This next song is off our Bastard Machine EP. And I want to see a fucking pit, and I want to see all my headbangers, and I want to see all the titties in the world just flopping the fuck around. This one goes out to all the fucking mainstream media and the bullshit controlled politics and the political correct motherfuckers that are ruining this goddamn country. And all the strong-minded motherfuckers who I feel are here that don't buy into any of that goddamn bullshit, all right? Fuck your federal government, man.
Oh, yeah.
We the people. This one is called Goddamn Country.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I missed that shit. Definitely a young man's game with that. Definitely a young man's game. I can't be doing that kind of stuff anymore. I like doing the comic books, and it's fun to look back at my time in the indie music scene, kicking ass as we did. Before we get out of here, everybody, please go Reaper Destroyer issue 2. Sign up links are down below. Sign up for issue 2, launching late October, early November. We also have the Second Chance campaign launching September 19th. All you have to do is sign up one time, and I will do all the communications through this campaign right here. So you don't have to do 2. I'm just going to launch issue or the Second Chance on September 19th. No sign up here. I'll send everything out you need to do. We have an awesome Brett motherfucking Booth cover on Reaper Destroyer issue 2. Also, Oliver Isabedra, one of my favorites comic artists right now, indie or pros. Like, I just really dig the stuff he's doing. He did the supplemental story, the Apophis supplemental story for me, where I wrote and he drew. It was fantastic. I've got him working on a secret project right now that I can't wait to talk about. It's going to be fucking awesome when we actually talk about it and we drop it. It's going to be great. Look for that in the future. But right now, cover Reaper Destroyer issue 2. He knocked it out of the park. Definitely check this out. If you guys read issue 1, I'm not going to spoil it for you too much, but this is after Apophis. Well, I guess it is a spoiler. Hey, spoiler. After Apophis has been revealed as the entity tormenting Matt, Matt finds himself trapped in a foreign land known as the Veiled Dimension. We are going to do some things in this issue. We are going to go a little bit more fantasy, I guess you could say, than the Streets of New York that we did in issue 1, but it's going to be fucking awesome. Just wait and see. Looks like it was a fun time, man. It was an absolute fun time. Trust me. Lots of good memories. Yeah, Kayla knows what's going on. You guys are going to love it. Yeah. We got some other stuff to talk about too when it comes to Superior Press. Not just Reaper Destroyer 2, what we're doing with the company, books that we plan on putting out, all that kind of stuff. Lots of information that are kind of being held down right now, but once we get a chance to talk about it, we're going to put it out there. But right now, my main focus is Reaper Destroyer issue 2. Sign up for that. Also, if you guys haven't had a chance yet, I got to show off my boy Sean Aaron's Type 1. Type 1, everybody. This book, the line art on this book is done. For everybody that's been waiting for this book, thank you for your patience. We appreciate you. Well, collectively, over 10K on this campaign on Indiegogo and Fund My Comic. But we would love to see this push to over 10K on Indiegogo, too. If you haven't backed it, please back it now. Sean Aaron's put a lot of work into this book. The story is great. Kayla can tell you right now, for those of us that have read it, seen the concept, Sean has improved so much as an artist, putting out some of his best stuff now and just keeps on getting better and better. So definitely support Sean. We all love him. We know him. He's a great dude. Go and pick up my cover. I'm very excited, happy about this cover. I was able to draw Sean's character, which we've been talking about now for years. And I was able to actually do it finally, put it on the cover, and get inked by Marlo, colored by Dan Kemp. And it's one of my favorite pieces that I've done this year. And I absolutely love it. There's also a cover by Phil McNulty and Chris Graves, the badass, the very talented Chris Graves as well. Please check this out, guys. Please consider backing it. Links are down below. Or actually, I think only my links are down below. I'm sure links are being dropped there by the mods in the chat. Type 1, back that. It's going to be fulfilled sooner than later. Like I said, the line art is done. Now we have to wait for the rest of it to be colored, then lettered. You know the whole process. But we are getting close to getting this thing out to you guys. I say we, but I mean Sean. But, I'm rooting for him. So I do kind of feel like a we, Thank you, Christopher. Appreciate you. She has improved. Oh, Sean. I said, don't tell him I said she. That's my bad reading there. Sean has improved artistically and with his writing. That is a fact. Burnout said, did you listen with Phil and Jerry? It would have been great to see Phil in AIC. Oh, Allison Chains. Sorry. Threw me for a loop. Did I listen to Phil doing Wood with Jerry? Yes. Like one of the tribute one. Yeah. Which was interesting about that performance is that was right after he got done doing his back surgery for the first time. And so he's kind of out of the loop, out of practice. Some people say he didn't sound good in that performance. I actually think it sounded good. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, with Cantrell. Yeah, I see that. I liked it. I did. Yep. Yeah. I liked Phil's voice on it too, because he's got that low, southern draw. He talks really deep, and he's put that out there. And it sounded good, especially with Cantrell doing the backups. It was good. No, it wouldn't. Lane could not be replaced. Too unique. Are you talking about replacing? Oh, I got you. No, I wouldn't want to see him replace Lane Staley. I mean, they obviously did that anyway, and the guy they replaced him did pretty good. We played with Alice in Chains back in 2000. Oh yeah, that live show of My Name Is Fall kind of showed you Alice in Chains was one of the headliners. Actually, that night we played about an hour after they played, and it sounded good. It sounded really good, but certain guys are just hard to replace. So it would have been cool to see Phil go out like on a tour, like on a tribute, like if he just took over the head spot, the lead spot, or the can't think, it's getting late, the frontman spot of Alice in Chains just for like that tour, like that tribute tour after Lane died. I could have seen that. I think that would have been cool. But yeah, as far as full on replacing him, no. What, that whiner? Yeah. Kayla's a big Deftones fan. Don't get me wrong, I like Deftones, but it's a little whiny. It's a little whiny. Yeah, and that's probably a good thing, to be honest with you. I could not listen to Sepultura or Alice in Chains after OGs left. Yeah, Sepultura, I never listened to him after Max left. Went and listened to Soulfly. Soulfly was badass. Alice in Chains, you got to separate that band. There's with Lane and after. And the stuff with Lane is classic. You're never going to touch it. So it's that dude, you want to talk about one of the best vocalists of his time. Lane Staley definitely is up there on my list. And then afterwards, I mean, they made some really good music after. They really did. And you just got to separate it. You can be like, yeah, it's Alice in Chains. It sounds a little different. But what held that band together was Cantrell. Because he wrote a lot of the songs. He did so much. I mean, it was basically his band. Lane was doing the, what Seasons, the fuck was his other band that he did before he joined Alice in Chains? Oh, why am I drawing a blank here? Now, whatever. I'm sure the chat will get it. So you still had Cantrell writing the songs, doing the backup vocals. So you still had that feel to it. So I feel like if of any band that kind of lost an OG, Alice in Chains was able to recover the best because of Jerry Cantrell. Mad Season? Oh yeah, thank you, brother. Mad Season, that's what it was. Thank you. Sometimes I draw a blank, like it pisses me off. I'm like, it's right there. It's right there. So, but yeah, no, I think Alice in Chains is uniquely able to kind of do that, but there is a after Cantrell or after Lane Staley and before Lane Staley. It just is. You have to separate that, but you can still enjoy, I think, all the collection of their music. Pearl Jam was in, or their guitarist was in that band too. Okay, I actually didn't know that. Nice. All right, guys. Well, this was a fun show. I enjoyed talking music. I enjoyed talking comics, obviously, with you guys. It closed out. Closed out the wrong video. Where you at? Nope, that's not it either. I gotta see who's number one. I can't make this mistake again. I keep forgetting to see who's number one in the chat. All right, let me pull that video back up. I closed it out by accident. Hold on a second. I'm sure somebody's gonna tell me in the chat, but I want to look for myself. All right, here we go. Let's pull it back up here. Top fans. Sheldon Martin. Sheldon Martin. I'm giving that's it. Sheldon's got the win. I'm calling it now before it changes. Even if it changes after this, that is what it is. Sheldon Martin, congratulations on your victory. Let me pull this up. Sheldon, you're not on the board yet, are you? This is your first one, right? I got Rick Saylor, Mo Biggs, Hale Lore, Michael Pritchard, Twisted Dreams. Where the hell is Twisted Dreams? I haven't seen him in a while. Somebody track him down. It's been a second since I've seen him. Tell him to get his ass back here. Christopher Bouchard's got one. MSK's got one. Shannon's got one. All right, so Sheldon Martin, this is your first victory. Welcome to the leaderboard. I will add your name on there, and we'll make sure that you get added there. And you are now officially entered in to win the great prize at the end of the year. So shout out to Sheldon Martin. All right, everybody, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys. This has been awesome. I do not know if we are doing Out and Stuff this Thursday, so keep an eye out for that. I know it's been erratic streaming that we've been doing lately, and I do apologize for that. It's just stuff happens, Stuff happens with everybody's lives, and we're doing the best we can. But a Ronan Joe show this Sunday, I'll be back, and we're going to talk about something awesome, as we always do. Pop culture, do some more music talk. Just you, me, and the music. Love you guys. Everyone have a great night. Find somebody that's streaming. Go in and jump in that stream. You tell them Ronan Joe sent you. I'll see you guys all later. Talk to you all later. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to do this. Be good to each other. Take care of one another. And as always, picture me naked. Talk to y'all later. Peace.